Hey folks, this is Frederick II. I'm bringing you another episode of Napoleon Total War multiplayer. Uh, this is going to be a 4v4. On the attacker side, it was just me and a couple of other random players. Templarius is known in the community by a few, and then there's my squad right here. These guys I play with often: Marshal Suchet, Vishnu, Funny Man, yes, except for this guy actually. This was the first time I ever played him. They challenged me and said, you know what? How about you go on the other team? So we have it, so it's even. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Fine. Well, we'll give them a shot because they didn't have anyone other than Templarius that could have stood. Well, that was our initial thought. So real quick, I think OG Kushner was Spain, Republic was left Prussia. I was playing as Russia for this battle. I honestly love this faction despite its lack of firepower. And then Templarius was the far right wing as Prussia. And the map we are playing on is called Sunken Jungle, one of the best maps in this game, in my opinion anyways, because there's no river crossings, which leads a lot to just camping and whatnot. And it's got a lot of open spaces, a lot of forest, hills, a lot of choke points where you can contest for strategic positioning for either your lights or cav, whatever it may be. On the other side, this is Quinn. Quinn was playing as Britain. Funny Man, yes, was Prussia. And then Suchet and Vishnu were both playing as France. Vishnu's this center army, and Suchet was on the far right wing. Well, their left wing, my right wing. Now, looking at army comps, just mine, because for right now, I decided to go with one shooter cav, 2 hussars, I believe, and then 2 cuirassiers. The rules for the battle, as I always host in my games, I make the rules 4 lights or skirmishers, max of 2 shooter cav, no art, sometimes that changes depending on the map, no art, max 2 melee infantry, and no guerrillas. And since I wasn't the host for this one, I think we agreed upon no art for lights. Pretty sure. For my army comp, I brought no lights whatsoever. I knew that, knowing this map, I played on it quite a bit. I was like, you know what? Lights are not going to determine how this battle goes down. So to kick things off real quick, me and Vishnu are clashing right here for this force. This is going to be quite the point of contention. And if you look a little further out, you can see Quinn and Funny Man got control of the main hill, which is great for them. But if it not were, oh my gosh, I cannot speak. If it was not for Spain pulling back into a hinge formation. Now, I didn't pay attention during the battle to a lot on that front, but just seeing that, I knew he was going to draw in the British, overextend the line, because the way it's set up, there's only so much space you can spread out your army, which means they'll have reserves for later use. If he thins them out and then strikes with Republic on one section, they could shatter an army. Right here, we're already getting the battle underway on Templarius' front. Currently under fire by the Chasseurs. Watch those musketeers let it have it. Not too much damage considering that the forest block is blocking a lot of shots, but here comes the French line, French Fusiliers. Prolonged battle, the Prussian musketeers can crush them. I get the feeling it didn't quite happen that way. You gotta love the Prussian flag. Not a big fan of the vanilla uniform. Can't have everything. Oh, shoot. Sushi already launched these missiles. Not too effective. forest cav attacks don't do that much damage. I set up a small
Our men
little
are running,
garrison
sir.
right here. 2 musketeers, no, 4 musketeers, just to keep us connected, which is good. But I was hoping for that Templars would plug this gap, because the more space we give, the more infantry, cav, whatever it could be, takes up the space. Over here, I did not expect Vishnu to send his old guard straight into the battle this early, but he threw in an old guard and a Fusilier unit while our cav was in melee.
Our men are running, sir.
And having the better cav of the two, with the heavy cuirassiers, I decided to just run straight through into it. I secured the forest, although I am exhausted. I didn't notice until I looked more into the stats about which line has the same number. For a little combination. We're not gonna hold up. Oh, I'm still trying to deploy my forces over here. Oh, I did bring one light. The 17th Jaeger Regiment. It's the only one you should bring as Russia, since it's got 45 accuracy and standard reload speed. So right here, what you're about to see, this is I think it was both a mixture of Suchet and Vishnu right here. That's definitely Suchet's, all of that.
Our men are running, sir.
I can't remember which one of those that was. Yeah, so it may look bad, but as long as I hold this forest, Vishnu is going to have one hell. He was having one hell of a time trying to push me out. Now let's go check out Funny Man's front. So far, it's pretty slow. They both got their own little force position. We were on the attacker side, but as the initiative goes, whoever is the most aggressive is most often going to be the one that comes out on top. Just simply because if you attack first, and it's not Waterloo, that's like the one exception. If you attack first, you're gonna throw them off the bat, or you'll be able to determine how your enemy maneuvers. So I was right. I definitely was right on here. Spain pulls back, draws in the British, and even though they definitely have the superior line, this is not enough to fade all 4 lights. Oh yeah, see those fences.
Sir! Sir, our general is under attack.
He's also got the Cosarios Españoles. I didn't know this, but he actually had his cab over here. Oh no, guerrillas were allowed. It was for Templarius. Sorry, I got distracted for a bit. This was Templarius' game. Okay, so over here, I think we didn't miss too much. Just Suchet is working with Vishnu. They're pushing Templarius on our connected flank. They split us apart, but I'm just trying to hold this ridge in the forest. I'm kind of isolated, actually. Now that I look back at it, but despite that, I'm putting up one hell of a fight. I brought Pavlov's Grenadiers, 10 line. I already mentioned the cav earlier. I'm going in for a little charge. Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's one of the issues I have with French, or just this game in general. I hate how shooter cav can be super accurate. You just key to its square 90% of the time. But as long as I have the force and they don't have a route to outflank me, I would be fine. Got it square, just broke the grenade. That's costly. That is very costly, especially on the large unit setting. If you lose grenadiers that early, it's going to hurt you in the long run. Squared just in time on the French Cheval. You knock out a French Cheval, that's the same as knocking out a giant unit in terms of cost. Got a few of them stuck right here. They're taking prisoners. Right here, you got my semi-hostile effort. So, no, seeing how few forces are dedicated to this front and how I can still trade volleys in the forest as long as they hold the woods. I send out one unit of weakened hussars to get them in square. Oh, and over here I did a counter charge the final time. See, if you have a weakened force and you need to make space, just throw in your weakness. Just throw it in. That way you have time and energy for the rest of your army to deploy. So right here, I had to redeploy because I was just scrunching up too much. Vishnu wasn't paying attention. But I get a nasty little charge on the chasseurs. Boom! I ran over some Polish. They got in square, but I was going for those lights.
Our men are running.
But I got charged too. I wasn't paying attention right here. Oh, the only bright side is that he charged in the front, so I didn't use too many men. I still shouldn't have been so careless with that though. So obviously, as you can see, my hussars are going to die, but not without taking them out. And also seeing this was definitely. I'm going to slow it down just a bit so we can analyze this. I want to take a quick overview. So, like I said before, and it's coming to full circle right now. All these Spanish lights hammering. It's like a machine. I call it a machine gun strat with light infantry. Just the constant rapid fire on one selected unit. It will evaporate one of your one unit that is being targeted. And the shots that do miss, just hit the one in the back, like right here. He's just stretching out Quinn's forces and making it easier for him to get bled out on the English Prussian front. But what I was going to say, and this was key in the battle, Funnyman deployed 2 units of musketeers. Now, given the situation, he's trying to go head-to-head against a fellow Prussian player. This is Republic. He's trying to push Republic out of his section of the woods, and it is a tight area. That, as you can see, there's no way to outflank him from the right, our right, because I'm blocking it on this forest, and there's no way to outflank him on the left, since he's also got another very small door. And he can attack it as much as he wants, but unless he makes a gap...
Our men are running, sir!
...puts more pressure on the Spanish, he's just going to get grinded down. It's kind of like a shoehorn, if you will. Now I'm going to resume. So at this phase of the battle, both sides, I'm taking on multiple troops from essentially 2 armies, like maybe a 15th or not 15th. No, not a 15th. Maybe like 1/6 of Suchet's, because he keeps sending Cav and his old guard over here. And then I'm facing directly Vishnu. Oh, and then a small contingent from Funny Man. Now, one thing that you keep in mind, Russian militia or just infantry in general, their charge bonuses can rout a unit easily. Like their militia alone has a 19 charge bonus. That's more than some Cav. In fact, I think that's higher than my hussars. Let's go back to Templarius, because Templarius isn't good enough. He's doing good so far. He's still in line and on the edge of the forest, but he's getting pushed out slightly. Not many shots are hitting though. Like I said, the forests they're key. Oh, then this is also why he's targeting Volta Garrison skirmish mode. It's already bad enough they're trying to aim low to hit him, but he's got Fusiliers right behind them. Surprisingly, they're still losing right here. Always rely on the French to hold firm in the face of battle. So what I'm looking at Templarius, honestly, even if he's taking casualties, you should have one unit to soak up the fire, like this 92 Musketeer, or the 86, and then have the rest push in the forest. That way they both have the bonus. He's repelling this flanking maneuver thanks to his lights. Oh my god, he inflicted quite a few casualties, honestly. He got the Swiss into the losing. Oh, and Vishnu tried to charge him. I wasn't too happy about that. I don't know how, but he managed to sneak through the line. Oh, and now the fight's getting more intense. Let's go into the trees, bro. Yeah, so Vishnu was getting really pissed about the forest and whatnot, so he threw in the old guard. Seeing how many troops I had left in the Belvedere, I was like, you know what, screw it. Just go straight.
Our men are running, sir.
That did quite a bit of damage. This is the problem. Like, for every time he keeps sending that old guard, they're exhausted. Yeah. Even though they're old guard, if you're exhausted, you're just gonna be shattered. Like, right now, they're already pretty. Yeah, you can see the old guard right here, just running away. And as wonderful as the sacrifice was for the Grenadiers, my line of infantry finally move up, and I had to use up the last cavalry reserve I had, which was across here, and got the Polish Legion into square. That Vishnu took a lot of casualties.
Our men are running.
Brave Poles going straight into the fire. They shattered. I gotta deal with these chasseurs. Let's go check out Funny Man's flank. Yeah, I called it. I called it. So he's doing damage, but Quinn is getting pushed, and that's forcing him to redivert his forces. If he doesn't quickly kill him, like right here, I'm going to start pushing on him. Granted, I already took heavy casualties myself. Oh shoot, I thought this was Funny Man. No, this is Republic.
Sir.
Yes, so I was right. He completely turned back right here. He's pulling his units away just to stabilize this line. But he's taking more damage and he's losing a foot guard. You can't, at this phase of the battle, you cannot afford to lose your elite infantry. Speaking of which, that's a shame for Quinn. That entire garrison that was holding this part of the forest is gone. So Quinn is on the back foot constantly. He doesn't have much left. You look a little. I'll pull up the map a little higher. Yeah, see right there. That's me and Vishnu still grinding at it. Templarius is getting unit by unit, but it's still not decisive.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
It was Funny Man. So yeah, Funny Man lost his general. This was the last phase of my front. Oh shoot! Let me pause that real quick. Yeah, that's an issue I have with my computer. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, if I click on a certain spot on the map, it just throws me under the map. All right, now back to the battle. I absolutely love how even a crap faction in terms of firepower like Russia can still go head-to-head with the French or the Grande Armée and come out on top. Decisively out. So I have the melee advantage by far. Without his old guard, I had the advantage. Do a double stack, it maximizes the amount of firepower you can dish out in a short space. And plus, they're also not cross-bombing. Great for me. Got my Simonovsky lifeguard right here, getting cover fire on the flank. And the old guard going in for another charge. I think that was the second old guard unit. But as you can see, my units are dragged. My final assault. This was my hammer. Straight into the French line. Watch as they go from 82 down to 76, 75. This is more or less than we had. So many coming out of it, Vishnu's completely on the back foot because...
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must
what was
break.
that? Whose was that? Vishnu. I don't see where Vishnu was. Oh, that was bloody brilliant. I'm sorry if you guys didn't see enough of it, but there was don't get me wrong, the constant waves of attack from the French on this hinge right here of the forest was driving me insane. Because he kept throwing cab, he kept throwing line in the melee, but ultimately in the end I kept my stamina, which allowed me to come out on top during the melee. So now I've got a pretty good fat portion of my infantry left over. Including the militia. I could not believe at the end of it my militia was the one that was there. Yep, and then we could watch Quill over here getting rammed in the rear. That was a massive mistake. Rammed in the rear by Spanish Lancers. Such a shame. They fought so well together in the Peninsula War. Yeah, it doesn't matter even if he has the woods at this point. Should he even break this line wave, he's got another one to deal with. And they're Walloon guards. Well, one of them is a Walloon guard. Yeah, one of them is a Walloon guard. And he still has the 2 handicap. Yeah, it's not looking pretty. And I'm looking at Funny Man, he was ultimately overstretched. I knew what was going to happen. I was looking at it. The 2 line he sent here, that cost him very valuable troops that could have been used to bolster his center and the right flank. Because looking at it now, in hindsight, Quinn he fell straight into the Spanish trap, and that's what cost him at least this side of the front. Looking at Suchet, so Suchet, he didn't straight up lose the battle, but he saw that Vishnu collapse, his right collapse, and he decided to fall back. And I called him out for it during the game. We were in a Discord chat. It didn't matter because like I couldn't tell any. I could not type. I don't type while I'm in micro. This is way too distracting, and I gotta focus on my own units. But I could hear them all panicking, and Suchet's like, I'm gonna pull back. I'm gonna go back here. Like, in case you haven't noticed, there's only one way to get in and one way to get out. And I told him, you do that, I'm going to slaughter you. And both of our troops are exhausted, but his are very tired, mine are tired, so I have just enough time. Let's go check out the British front right before I finish off the remains. Oh, yeah, there goes Funny Man. Yep. He doesn't have it in him. And this is what I was talking about too earlier. He should not have thrown his foot guard. If he was, at least not right here, because this is where it was before. He just left it wide open to the lights and the line fire. He's holding right now, but yeah, that's gonna end very soon. Yeah, Quinn is basically done. Let's go check out and see Suchet, because I was chasing him for quite some bit. I did not want Templarius to have to struggle. I wanted to end as quickly as possible. I just threw in the Upuccini, kept him in melee.
Sir, your general has been killed. This is a black day.
No, that's one small price to pay for some fish. God, I love that Russian uniforms. They got those awesome little flat cap hats, and their officers use it flip. The militia may run, but the line will hold. I think you just shot your own men, sir.
The men of the king
at this point too, after that long, brutal combat with Vishnu, I was pretty much out of ammo. I didn't have much left. Where's my Sevenovsky guard? I know it's a order, so I had it a lot. Oh, right here. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You could have old guard, you have the escort standard, still coming out on top. Going into square is a decent way to manage against Russians. You might as well. You'd have to drag them into square to charge. The French line, the Swiss foot, absolutely shredded pieces. My Semenowski's holding on for dear life. See if they'll hold the Fusiliers line. Well, man, I believe in you. Remember the Semenowskis. They do not die in vain. Even very... Oh, God. Even very tired, they will still... At this point, my job was to stay alive. It was just to lead out Suchet's forces, which I think I did fairly well. Out of that massive French army that managed to survive. This is all that's left now after I charged in constantly.
Our men are running, sir.
Semenowskis will be remembered. Please, when you guys are done watching this, I want to see remember the Semenowskis. Alright, let's go back over. Yep, this is funny, man. So I talked to him after, we all talked after the battle was over. He told all of us that it's like, yeah, after Quinn fell, it was over.
Glorious victory, sir. I
warned him too. I said, if the Spanish pull back, he's just trying to bait you. He's just trying to bait Quinn in, make it easy pickings. Easy pickings. What a waste British foot guards get killed like this. Spanish Fusiliers, honestly. That was one more thing I forgot to mention in this map. I always forget it.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
Heat fatigue. It's not the. I don't like any fatigue, but it makes sense because it's a freaking jungle, and these troops are not trained to be fighting in jungles. I mean, to fight in the fields of Europe. Oh, there goes Quinn's general. Yeah. Okay. Well, we just saw the last remnants of the Anglo-Prussian flank just go down. And this is the rest of Templarius' force, running even while exhausted. Look at the mirage and the smoke. The brave Prussians marched to the end, seeing daylight on the horizon, and the French guard collapsing, both from fatigue and low morale, knowing this is their last stand. They can't hold. Since I took out so many of the old guard and whatnot, the Fusiliers are not going to hold up against Prussian line. It's just poor Fusiliers. Let's see it from the perspective of the French. Suchet was panicking at the end of this battle. He said, "No! No, I will never surrender." And then this happened. It's got mass routed. His old guard is like, "No, we're resigning. Napoleon's not here, so we don't feel like fighting anymore." Let's just go back. Oh my God, there are so many corpses here. You know it's a good battle when there's hundreds of men on both sides that have fallen. Like, I may have won, but I took a ton of casualties over here. I lost that small little grenadier unit, but they were causing hell. And this was the battle results. So I expected that by the end of it, I was going to have more losses than kills because I kept getting pincered by 3 armies. But in the end, the bulwark survived and it just drained them. Suchet didn't come out too well. Vishnu got a lot of kills since he was helping out against Templars, but he needed those men as well. And then we have Funny Man, 1463. Yeah, and then there's Quinn. And I knew Quinn was gonna have the fattest losses. Just watching that, Spain did a great job. Good job, Kushber. You did real good pulling them into that trap. Well, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't move the camera too much and you were able to see it. Like and comment if you want to see more. Honestly, I want to hear what you guys say, but just please do not make me do a freaking Waterloo battle. Until next time, I should be having another video up again.